Hey guys, OzzyMyPokemon here, and welcome back to another video. And today we are going to be going over the top 10 strongest fire-type Pokemon. So, just like last time, I am going to be including Megas, and basically anything that's not banned to Ubers in Smogon tiers will be allowed on this list. So, let's just get right into it. Coming in at number 10 is Entei. Now, Entei is a legendary Pokemon, so it's got some really good stats. It's got 115 in attack and 100 in speed. It also has access to some really great moves such as Sacred Fire and Extreme Speed, and also has Stone Edge and Earthquake for coverage. Most people usually like to run Entei with a Choice Band or a Choice Scarf. Usually a Choice Band because people like to use Extreme Speed, but the main problem with Entei is that if you use Extreme Speed, you're limited to an Adamant nature, which is going to mean your speed is above average at best, which means it gets outsped by a lot of Pokemon, so you have to look out for that. But apart from that, Entei is a very solid Pokemon. Coming in at number 9 is a Lowland Marowak. Now, Marowak wasn't that good, but once it got its Alolan form, everything changed. It got access to two really great moves, Shadow Bone and Flare Blitz, and also it's got the item Thick Club, which doubles its attack. Now, its attack isn't that good, but with the Thick Club, that's doubled, and that is going to make its attack extremely high. The main problem with Alolan Marowak though is that its special defense is quite low, and even with its defense high, it does have a lot of weaknesses, but still a very solid Pokemon. If your opponent has no answers to it, it's going to just sweep through teams. Coming in at number 8 is Infernape, and Infernape is pretty much Underused's best offensive threat because of its really high speed and really good attack and special attack stats. The main advantage to using Infernape is that you have such a wide variety of moves with things such as Flare Blitz, U-Turn, Close Combat, Gunk Shot, Stone Edge, and Earthquake. You've also got a lot of other things as well, and you can just run so many different things with Infernape, such as Choice Scarf, Choice Band, Life Orb, Focus Sash. You could even run a lead Infernape with Stealth Rock and Fake Out, but basically Infernape is just such a versatile threat that it's just so good, and no other Pokemon can match it in this category. Coming in at number 7 is Mega Charizard Y. Now, Charizard, as you know, before it got its Megas, kinda sucked, but when it got its Megas, everything changed. Mega Charizard Y is one of the best wall breakers in the game. Now, he is better in the doubles format, but in singles he's still a really good wall breaker. You usually see him running moves such as Flamethrower, Solar Beam, Focus Blast, and Roost, and pretty much Mega Charizard Y, with the Drought ability, which is extremely good, can set up for its teammates or use its Drought for itself to cause massive damage with Fire-type attacks, and have Solar Beam not have to charge up. The main problem with Mega Charizard Y though is that it takes 50% from Stealth Rocks. Now this is a really big problem because Stealth Rocks are so common in the current meta, and taking 50% every time you switch in is really not good for this Pokemon. But apart from that, Mega Charizard Y is a really good Pokemon. Coming in at number 6 is Victini. Now Victini is another legendary Pokemon. It's got 100 stats all across the board, and it's basically really good. Its ability Victory Star means all of its teammates have a 10% boost to their accuracy, which means a lot of Pokemon are going to be able to use low accuracy moves and not have to worry about it. Also, Victini has access to basically the strongest move in the game, which is V-Create, and it is an 180 power fire type attack, and it's even got access to Bolt Strike, which is Zekrom's signature move. So basically, this guy is really good, but unfortunately he does not have a very high speed, and his attack is not the highest as well, but still a really solid Pokemon to use. Coming in at number 5 is Volcanion, and Volcanion is the only fire-water type, and let me just say, I think the typing fire-water is really good, but let's get on to Volcanion. It's got a huge variety of moves, with moves such as Steam Eruption, Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb, and Earth Power. Some people like to run a Choice Scarf or a Choice Specs and use it as a wall breaker or revenge killer, or you could also choose to run a bulky Volcanion because he has some pretty good defensive stats. But unfortunately, Volcanion is really vulnerable to entry hazards, and it's weak to Stealth Rocks, which basically means you're gonna have a limited number of switch-ins because hazards are a really common thing in the metagame, but apart from that, Volcanion is a really good Pokemon. Coming in at number 4 is Cephalon, one of the new Ultra Beasts from Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. Now basically, this Pokemon has really good stats. It's got 151 special attack and a decent 107 speed, which means it outspeeds a lot of Pokemon. But some people like to run it with a Choice Scarf, which means it's going to be outspeeding almost everything in the game, and it doesn't have to be worried about not knocking out Pokemon because its special attack is insanely high, with moves such as Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, and Dark Pulse. While this isn't the best move pool, it's definitely alright for this Pokemon. But overall, the thing that holds it back is its really low defenses. If something somehow manages to outspeed it, this thing is going to drop really easily, and its move pool's decent, but it doesn't have the best coverage, and that's why it's not higher on this list. Coming in at number 3 is Mega Charizard X. Now, this Pokemon, apart from Zygarde, is probably the best sweeper in the OU metagame because of its access to Dragon Dance and its ability Tough Claws, which powers up contact moves. It usually runs the attack Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Flare Blitz, which after a Dragon Dance is going to do massive damage. However, the main problems with Charizard is it's got a weakness to Stealth Rock and its speed isn't that high, so it sometimes will be outsped by Choice Scarf Pokemon even if it's got a Dragon Dance up. But apart from that, Charizard is a solid Pokemon. Coming in at number 2 is Volcarona. Now Volcarona is probably one of the best special sweepers in the entire game because of its access to the move Quiver Dance. And it's also got a pretty wide variety of moves with Flamethrower, Bug Buzz, Psychic, and Giga Drain. There are a lot of different options you can run with Volcarona. I actually have a video about how to use Volcarona on my channel, which I'll link in the description if you want to see more about that. But the main problem with Volcarona is that it's got a 4 times weakness to Stealth Rock. It means you're going to have a Defogger or a Rapid Spinner on your team just to send this Pokemon out. So unfortunately, that's the main drawback to a Volcarona, but apart from that, a really good Pokemon. Now, coming in at number 1 is the one and only Heatran. Now when you first look at Heatran, look at those stats, it's got 130 special attack and really high defenses. But on top of that, he also has really great moves. He's got access to both Taunt and Stealth Rock on the utility side, and if you want to be offensive, he's got Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, and Earth Power. A big weakness to this guy though is that he's got a 4 times weakness to ground, which is pretty bad, but of course you can always run an air balloon, which will make you immune to all ground type attacks until the balloon is popped. But that really is the only weakness to Heatran. It doesn't have to worry about many other super effective attacks because its defenses are just so high. There is no doubt that Heatran is the strongest fire type Pokemon. And just a quick fact, both the number 1 Pokemon in the past 2 top 10 videos have been steel types, which is just telling you guys how good the steel type really is. But that's it for this top 10 list. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment what you think the strongest fire type Pokemon are, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.